It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang. Story time is the part 2 of another story time that I did the other day, and now I'm doing the reaction, which the other girl who is telling a story. We got one baby mama telling the story of how her baby daddy's other baby mama got sent to prison, and this is the prison story, okay, of how she got sent to prison. This is her side, so we're getting both sides. Let's get it.
Story time for y'all by requested. Okay, so we're finna get into this real quick about why I went to prison. I did 7 years. This was 20 years ago, y'all. I was 22 years old. And I was 26 when I went to prison. I went to prison in 2010. I caught my charges in 2008. And I was released from prison in 2016, followed by 5 years papers after doing the 7 years. Right here, we have the 7 charges. I have a criminal mischief and I have aggravated stalking without intent to kill. Those 2 charges were separate from the other 4. They let me out on bond and brought me back and booked me for another assault, 2 child abuses, the discharging of a firearm from a vehicle, and the aggravated firearm. This is my paperwork when I was released off of probation when I completed my 5 years of papers. So this year makes 9 years that I have been free. If you know anything, 9 is my life path number. So I'm excited about this year. This year has been an awesome year for me. So let's get to it. I met a guy. I did not know he had a baby mama. It began to be baby mama drama once we found out about each other. I didn't find out about her till 6 months after the fact of being with him. She had already knew about me. So for 2 years, it was consistent and ongoing, back and forth, unnecessary drama. Now, mind y'all, we were young. We were wet behind the ears, tender, didn't know no better. And I can only speak for me. I was unhealed, you know, trying to find myself at that age. So it's a lot of things that I dealt with and that I put up with that I would never put up with today. But before I get into this story, I would like to just say that it's all about accountability. Anything that happens in your life is totally for you. It's never for the other person. And I learned my lesson through what I had to go through. Like, everything that you go through is for you. It's never for the other person. And we got to stop sitting back pointing fingers at the other person and stand back and take accountability in whatever it is. And I have to take accountability for the things that I allowed a man to do, you know, because at the end of the day, people only going to do what you allow them to do. But at the age of 22, I was damaged, you know what I'm saying? So I was dealing with my trauma. So I didn't know how to approach the situation. And instead, it ended up causing me 7 years of my life. So to break it down, his baby mama, it was a lot of throwing rocks and hiding your hands, pretty much. And it was back and forth on both ends, but more so on the opposite person ends. Because remind you, I came in. Once I came in the picture, he kind of flipped the script completely. He was very disrespectful. He pretty much just made it known that he wanted to be with me, you know. Because it got to the point where he was pulling up everywhere I was at, fighting people, just causing ruckus in my life, running off my boyfriends, like, I don't know how he found me, but it don't matter where I'm at. He was literally just popping up everywhere. So I was going through all this to find out that he had a girlfriend. So it's just like, huh? But I had just got out of a relationship, so I was outside. I was young. I was a party girl. I was outside. I was hanging out. So even though I was only serious with him, I was still talking to other guys. So for all this stuff to continue to go on, that's what like kind of threw me for a loop. Fourth, you know, immature, a lot of ego, the woman trying to prove a point, like the man like her better or whatever the case may be. For me, I just feel that God had a better plan and a purpose in my life, and I had to see those things. And throughout that, since I've been home, I have an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree in business administration. 4 credits from my master's degree in human services. I had married, I had divorced, I got land. I just brought a house. I brought a house. Like, I've accomplished so much. My kids are both married at 19 years old. They're in their careers. One's a preacher, one's in the army.
14 kids.
And I'm a grandmother. So, like, life had a way of throwing curveballs. And I always tell people, you have to be careful what you say and what you do. Because one thing that is, karma is real. And it will come back around. And the person that had to suffer always be the winning person in the end. So this ain't I'm not mad at nobody. I don't hate nobody. But I'm here to give y'all the story. So, I done ran off the road almost twice. One time, his brother and my cousin was in the car with me. One time I was in the car by myself. I done been followed. Car scratched up. His clothes cut up, bleached up, thrown all over my car. She came to my house, knocked on my door. I opened the door. She asked for him. I tell him she at the door. I come back in, I look out the window, she's out there crying because he's telling her that he want to be with me. So this is the situation. I'm trying to give y'all a visual of the perspective places that everybody played in as time is passing by. So now we at a point where we got kids, both of us. She got 3, I got my 1. Her last one and my only one is the same age. We know about this man. We know what he's doing. It's no sense of sitting here playing the blame game. And I just see that a lot of women like to say it's the man or it's this, it's that. No, it's you, because you allowed this man to come in your life. You allow him to lie to you. You allow him to drag you. And then you want to place the blame. But where do we have to take accountability? We have to stop and we have to take accountability. And that's where I feel like this journey has taken me to a place where now anything that happened to me, I look directly at me. I done been in some weird situations. We can have story time for years. But I always go back to where I went wrong. What did I do wrong? How can I change myself? And that's what this is all about. And so I just thank God for just allowing me to see who he is in me. You get what I'm saying? I'm able to walk in my powers now. Back then I didn't know who I was. So I was kind of just shifting along this matrix until I figured it out. And now that I realized, this all worked out for my good. But, we come across these situations all the time with women and men and vice versa. And you find out the other woman find out that he been cheating and now he cheating with her and now she don't know nothing about you. And a lot of women like to go and immediately blame game and be mad at the woman. And I love this song. What it is? I got these mad again. Never buy no money, but it's always like this bitch. She furious. I mean, be furious. You be furious at the woman. And she don't know. I mean, she done been lied to just like you. But all this stuff was occurring back and forth. Literally, we done had to fight. And, I never wanted to fight this girl because at the time back then, y'all, I was a thick girl. I've always been shapely, small waist, big butt. That's just always been my shape tone. And she was skinny bones. It was no flex to fight this girl. So I never wanted to go there with her. But it was so much of her mouth, that kept always at me, And I allowed all that stuff to get the best of me. And I end up doing some things that I might have shouldn't have done. And I also feel like my state, I'm from Florida, and I feel like they failed me because before we get up to me catching the charges and me shooting the gun, and it's now it's called warning shot. Now you can do that. But back then in 2008 they had just passed the law. So that's why I feel like they failed me. And also, I had tried to get an injunction on her in 07. Mind you, my charges was in 08. They denied it. I'm going to upload that. In 08, right before all this stuff happened, I went to go try to get an injunction on her mom. And that was because her mom was the type of person, she was always in a drama. Nothing happened. And I'm going to upload them. And so that's why I feel like I was left out here to defend myself. My parents was more on the end, would try to diffuse the situation. They had conversations with him. You know, they would try to diffuse the situation. And back then, I only hung out with cousins and family members. And that was when I wasn't by myself, because the 9 times out of 10, I would be by myself if I wasn't with them. I hope this kind of summed up everything. And I will post part 2. Y'all let me know what else y'all want to know about it. As I stated before, it pretty much was a bunch of baby mama drama. Woman finds out. Woman's mad. Woman takes it out on the other woman. Woman creates drama. Woman hides her hand. When the other woman starts to attack back and show the other side, you want to call the police. And see, I never called the police or none of that stuff, because as I said before, I never found her as a threat. And that's what I went wrong, because I should have acted scary as all out those and went down there every day until they gave me an injunction. But that's the past. It didn't hurt me. It didn't fail me. And I'm a success story, and I don't want nobody to feel bad. I thank God for everything. Part 2, this is how I went to prison at the age of 26. I had 38 years, rent concurrent, end up doing the highest bid of the charges, was 8 years. Off of 8, I had to do 7. We do 85% in the state of Florida. Okay. So now we on how I met him. Simple day, regular day, dropped my child off to school, and I stopped by this store called Diamond D. I was coming, I pulled in, I was coming in the store, he was coming out the store. So he stopped me, and he's asked me, did I remember him? So I'm like, no, I don't remember you. And he was like, you don't remember a few months back, you met me at such and such house? And I was like, oh yeah. So he brought back my memory. I had met him like 8 months prior to this time, after I was leaving church one day, me and my cousin T. And we pulled up after church to the corner house, which my homeboy grew up there. He stopped me, and the baby daddy was standing there. That's what we're gonna call him. And he was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, good. But we chopping it up with my homeboy. So he eventually asked me who baby this is in the car. And I was like, that's my baby. He was like, he's so cute. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, everybody say that. He, you know, he a cute little baby. He was like, let me hold him. So I let him hold him. If I would have known what I know now, I would never let people just hold my baby. But I used to get that all the time about my son when he was little. He was the cutest thing. So I let him hold him. Like literally 5 or 6 minutes after that, not even, my son's grandmother pulled up with her daughter in the car, and she was like, who is this young man holding my grandson? So I was like, I don't really know him. I said, I don't know him. I know him. And she was like, oh, okay. So she looked at him and she said, why is you holding my grandson? And he was like, he just a cute baby, but I'm going to give him back to his mama. I want no problems. And she was like, oh, you better give him back for his daddy come out that church. So it brought back my memory. So I was like, yeah, I remember you. Where you been? And he was like, I've been locked up. So I was like, oh, okay. He was like, where you going? I said, I'm going to go get my hair done because me and my son is taking pictures tomorrow. And tomorrow is his first year pictures with me and him. So he was like, okay. He was like, how much it costs? So I told him how much it cost, and he gave me the money. And after he gave me the money, we chopped it up a little bit, and we exchanged numbers. And we started talking. So now time is passing by. We talking every day. We hanging out. I work nights, overnight. So we would hang out all day. I go to work. And now months is rolling by. He's being introduced to my family, cousins, people that I'm hanging around. And then I end up telling my parents, like, I'm talking to this man. They was like, what's his name? So I tell them the name. And then I find out that my dad used to talk to his mama. So now it's like he's more acceptable around the family. He knows my aunts. He's coming around to every house that I'm pulling up to. We chatting it up. Like, it's cool. But at the same time, I had, like I said in the previous video, I had just got out of a relationship. So I was really outside. And I was talking to all kind of people. All kind. Because I was dating. I was not with someone. So as me and him still getting to know each other throughout these first 6 months, I'm still talking to people. And he know about it. You know, he to the point where now towards probably like the 4th or 5th month, he's showing his ass. So he pulling up, as I said, and he's doing stuff. Okay, bam. So 6 months roll by. We connected now. We tangled into this thing. You know, all I saw was what he showed me. So one day I'm leaving this other store. I'm actually coming to the store. And this is 6 months after. And I pull up. And my cousin is coming out the store, a family member. That's what I'm going to call it, a family member. And she stopped me. And she say, cuz, what's up? And I say, what's up? She say, nothing. She say, I was getting my hair done by my friend the other day. And she told me that you be talking to her baby daddy. So I was like, who is her baby daddy? So she was like, the baby daddy. She said his name. So I was like, he got a baby mama. And I was like, okay, so now I'm listening. So she like, yeah, that's my friend. She do my hair. And she was just basically talking about it while she was doing my hair. And she said your car. That she know he talked to you or whatever, but she don't know your face. So when she said the car, I put 2 and 2 together and said that's my cousin. So when I saw you, I said something to you. Now let's pause on this. And we're going to pick up back on this cousin once I get sentenced. Now for me, looking back, I feel like if you the cousin, the family member of me, and you're the friend of her, you could have diffused the situation right then and there. You knew I didn't know nothing about this man having no girlfriend. And obviously she knew who I was, but didn't have a face. It could have been deaded right there, but it wasn't. I guess it was some friend over family stuff. I don't really know. But anywho, let's get back to the story. So now after me and her finished chopping it up, now I'm like, what the hell? So I call him immediately. He denies it. Literally, like any other person would. You caught now. But he denies, I ain't got no motherfucking girlfriend. He used to be just his mouth. I ain't got no girlfriend. He never really claimed her. So he just be like, I ain't got no girlfriend. And I'm just like, this girl ain't just pulled over and told me this for nothing. So now I'm looking at him sideways. And now it's like, even if I thought about making you my main man and stop talking to all these guys, you just blowed it. I never look at you the same. And I might have still dealt with you, but I never, ever, ever, ever looked at you the same. And that's why things kind of played out with me and him the way that it did. So now I'm just sitting back waiting for some type of something to come out, because in my head she know about me, so something finna be seen. So I'm letting him lie, but at the same time I'm talking to him like, I really don't believe you. And if you doing anything, it's gonna come to the light. So this particular night, I'm riding. This is the first time I even noticed anything. I'm riding down 10th Street and I see a car trailing me. So I'm just like looking in my rearview mirrors, like every turn I take. We get into some light going up, getting close to Kathleen Hair's store, and I could visually see the car. So now I'm just laughing and I turn on my lights and I turn because I'm like, now she following me. Gotta be, because this gotta be the car, because I remember the car. So nothing don't happen. I guess she get on and go her way to her house. So probably like a week or two passed or so, and I see her at the same store that I met him at, Diamond D. I pull in, I'm sitting in the car, and I guess I went in the store and came out and was still sitting in the car doing something. I want to say I went and got a stamp, and I was putting a stamp on the mail. And I happened to look up, and she parked on the right of me, pulled in the store, got out her car, and all I could see her doing was walking in the store and rolling her eyes and doing like this. and mumbling under her breath, and she went in the store. So I'm just sitting there because, y'all, I used to be the type of person where I used to speak my mind, and then I got into religion, and religion will teach you to turn the other cheek and let people just do stuff, and you be humble. And the humbler you are, the more trouble you can get because you're not saying nothing. So I sat back and I didn't say nothing. She came out the store and she said he ain't going nowhere. So I just laughed. Because now in my mind, it could have been avoided, but the way that you carried on, instead of pulling me to the side and being a woman about the situation, now it's like my ego popped up. Like, oh, he ain't going nowhere. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to talk to other niggas, and I'm going to show you. Do I feel like that was wrong mindset? Yes, it wasn't even worth it. But I don't regret my life. I don't regret nothing that happened. So now we got a face. We got cars with it. We know about each other now, okay? But at this point, we still ain't got him saying it. Like, we ain't got the proof from him, but we got the proof. Crazy, young, dumb, full of gum, okay? I should have left. And so now, this is where all the drama started. Now, we at a place where, like I said previously, it's getting bad. You know, he trying to prove a point to her. I'm assuming he trying to prove a point to me. So situations are occurring and his hand is getting showed. Now me and her running into each other. His face is being made. Block calls being made. All this stuff. Now we finna get into the drama. It just so happened when I did this video, I was in Florida, where I'm from, in Lakeland. I don't live there anymore. So I live in Alabama. So at this current moment, y'all, I'm on my way to make a withdrawal from the bank. So I'm up early. And I just so happen to gotta go down this road. And I just feel like I'm gonna give y'all, it'll be better if I give y'all a visual of everything that happened. This is the day that I got arrested, okay? What she said, we want to know what actually happened. I'm gonna give y'all the day that I got arrested. Let's get into it. Y'all better like, share, and click now, because they... Okay, so this particular day, I'm going over the bridge in Lakeland, Florida, on Memorial, going over the bridge. I'm gonna give y'all a visual, show y'all how this look. This would be me going over the bridge with, I had my 2 kids in the car with me, and I had my homegirl in the car with me. And we were going to my cousin's house, who actually lived over this bridge on 2nd Street. I had a black Impala with tinted windows with a paper tag. So my car was pretty much, you know, she knew my car. So this is me coming here. This will be me. I turn my blinkers on and I get ready to turn on Jewel, right? Back then, this used to be a store. It's a store now, but it was a store back then. Her car was sitting over there, but she was coming out the store. She was coming out the store and she was getting in her car. So she saw me riding down this road. So now I'm riding down the road, and I'm going to show y'all where my aunt stayed, where I was actually going. And I had somebody in the car with me. So after this video and I post part 2, we're going to do a live. And I'm going to actually have the person to confirm everything. Okay? Okay, they didn't have this right here. It was just a straight road. So basically, I'm pulling in. My aunt, my dad's sister, she lived right here. By the time I can get right here, give my cousin whatever it is I'm giving her, I back out. Now I'm right here and she's coming down the road. So she pulls on the side of me right here. Say this is the side of me. And she pulls right here. She's in her truck. I guess she had her kids. I didn't know she had tinted windows. I just know I had mine. So let's set the record straight. The 2 child abuse charges that I have is because they said I discharged a firearm from a vehicle because I had my kids in the car. It was never about her kids. If it was her kids, then I would have had 5 child abuse charges because she had 5 kids. And remember, I only had 2. Which to me was bogus charges because at the end of the day, how y'all never take my kids out the house? I keep custody of my kids. When I go to prison, I give my mom temporary custody of my kids. When I come home, I get my kids back. So they sent me to prison for child abuse charges on my kids. They actually brought them to my house and did a walkthrough. We'll get to that. And I never lost my kids. So that's why those 2 charges to me was bogus as hell. So she pulled on the side of me. She say, bitch, you going to jail. So I said, girl, what the fuck you talking about? She talking about, you flat my motherfucking tires. You came out to my house and egged my car, bitch. I done called the police. They coming to get your ass. So now let me get to this part about the tire and the car being egged. Not denying it. It was done. But it was 5 people there. And I never slashed her tires. Somebody else slashed her tires. I just took the charge because the person was scared to come forth. And I just took the charge. My family reached out to this person, and we'll get into that. Her car was egged, but she had came to my house earlier that day. But we'll get into that. At this point, y'all, we 3 years in, and I'm with a whole nother man. With a whole nother dude. The baby daddy's in jail. He went to jail, and I moved on with my life. I was the last one to be talking to him before he went to jail this last time. So, I'm with a whole nother man. So, when she say that, I say, oh, now you want to play police games. My gun was right here in my coastal. My homegirl was right there, and my kids was in the back. As me and her exchange words, I pull out the gun, and I say, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to keep rapping with y'all. I'm protected. I'm straight. And her eyes got real big, and she drove off. She went back down Jewel. Okay, bam. So me and the homegirl laughing like, oh, now she know I'm not playing. Now she know I'm serious, right? So bam, me and the homegirl, we get to driving. We just going like I know I done scared, and I see her eyes looking, so I don't know what she gonna do. You get what I'm saying? She already talking about the police. So I tell my homegirl, I'm finna go by my grandma's house real quick. So bam, me and my homegirl, we can proceed with where we're going. And I'm going to come back and show y'all. Now, mind you, I said this was 20 years ago. But when something like this happens to a person, and you just don't forget certain stuff, you know. And as I said before, God has turned all this around for my good, baby. I can't do nothing but smile on this journey. But I'm on my way to take y'all to the next situation where the gun was actually shot in the air. And it was called a warning shot. Never intent to kill, never intent to hurt nobody. Just to warn you and let you know that I ain't finna play with you. It's too many of y'all, and it's only one of me. Besides family members, I don't have any siblings. So I'm finna get y'all to the next location, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So now we get here. Me and my homegirl, we traveling. We was gonna go by my grandma's house real quick, because I really wasn't thinking nothing of it. Like, it's been going on this long. I ain't thinking that. We turn on 6th Street, right here by the park. 6th Street in Webster. We turn. And we come down 6th Street. Hold on. This is me. This will be me traveling with my friend and my kids. We coming down. We playing the music. You know. Ain't thinking shit of it. I guess she had a sister that stayed at this end corner right here. These used to be projects. Okay, and I think her sister stayed like right up in here. So as I'm traveling down, I guess they see my car as I'm going down, and I hear her mom start yelling in the middle of the road. So I kind of hear it, and I like pause my car like this. So now I pause the car, and I'm like, you hear that? She like, yeah, look behind you. So I look behind me just like this. Her mama standing in the middle of the road. Come back, bitch. We finna beat your motherfucking asshole. Tired of you fucking with my daughter, bitch. We finna beat your ass. So I say, and like I said to your daughter, I'm not finna fight all y'all. I'ma shoot one of y'all hoes. This was my exact words, y'all. So I took the gun. I hold it out the air, just like this. And I popped. Warning shot. Warning shot. That was my warning shot. Bam. I didn't know why she was actually in original calling me back, because her daughter was on the phone with the police. So she ran over here to call the cops. That was why she came over here, because now, mind you, this person didn't even live in Lakeland. So I wasn't even expecting to see them. I didn't have a gun because I was thinking I was going to see them. I just had it. So, bam. Now I'm like, she on the phone with the police. I'm panicking now. So I'm like, damn, I don't even go to my grandma's house, because now we already know how Polk County police is, bitch. They're coming to get you. She just told me that there was that the police was coming because of the other incident that happened with her tires being flat when she pulled up on me. That was her purpose of pulling up on me. So I have enough time to go back home. I go home. I put my gun up. And then I say, I don't want them coming to my house, searching my house. So I'm going to just go on to my cousin Mika's house back over there on 2nd Street in Jewel. Kid you not, y'all. Soon as I pull in the driveway of Jewel, the house where my auntie stayed, police flooded me. They say, we just got a call about a discharging of a firearm. The police looked at me, he say, and I can't believe who it's about. He been running from us forever. And I was like, damn, like, now I'm like, I don't know what's finna happen. You get what I'm saying? But in my heart and in my mind, y'all, I'm going to give y'all the God honest truth. I didn't feel like I did nothing wrong. I feel like it was so much going on. I couldn't take it no more. And it was occurring while I was in a relationship with the guy that I ended up marrying. Mind you, the baby daddy's still locked up. So the only person now that I'm really hanging around is my dude at the time. And he even starts seeing it. We pulling up places. They don't know he in the car. Her family members jumping out the car at the BP talking about what they gonna do. He got in the car when he came out the store. He say, your ass better go get a motherfucking injunction. I know you ain't scared, but bitches don't play fair out here. So that's what originally made me go and get the injunction, because he had been saying that. But I had already tried. You get what I'm saying? I met a guy, and I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I ended up getting into a situation with his baby mama, and I ended up going to prison and doing 7 years. We are on part 4, and 4 is actually picking off from 2, where I said, okay, now the drama started. Well, first of all, shout out to my daughter for serving our country. But let's get into it. Okay, so I said I left off as we get into the drama. Okay, so now we like 8 months in, and I'm kind of seeing the other side of him, and like just his rough side. Yeah, he was in the streets, but I'm starting to see like the very like control that he had over the situation, because he started like really showing his ass and running people off, like guys that I was conversating with. And now that I look back, I feel like it was a tactic that worked, because if I could run everybody off, she ain't gonna have nobody to talk to but me. So that's how I feel now. I don't know. That's how I feel. But he just started like getting into it with people or showing up. So we're gonna talk about this particular time. I ended up going on a date with this guy that I had knew since high school. And we would just chat here and there, nothing serious at all. And he asked me to go out on a date. He wanted to take me out to eat. So I said, okay. So he said, we're going to Red Lobster. So I'm like, cool, because, you know, I just found out I do got a girlfriend. So I'm definitely not going to be head in. So we get a time. He tell me, you know, we talk about who gonna drive and all this stuff. Back then, I had a Lexus, and I was like 22, and he had like I think like It wasn't it was just a car, I guess. So I said I drive. So I go to his house, I get him. When I get there, he got balloons, he got flowers, and I'm like, okay. So he get in the car and we start heading to Red Lobster. Well, in the process of me going to Red Lobster, my phone starts to ring and I don't answer, and then I get a text message and I look down and it says, I see you. So, and I hope I'm telling this accurate as possible. And so I look down and I see who it is and I just shake my head like, damn. So I don't answer. So me and him listening to the music and we kind of talking a little bit on the way there. And when we get there, my phone started ringing and I just turn it on silent. And I look down and I get a text message and it say, I see you with your balloons and your flowers. So I'm like, this boy crazy. So now I feel like at this point, he's really trying to prove a point to me that this stuff ain't true, but it is. Or trying to prove me a point that he really liked me. So, bam. Me and the dude have dinner. We end up leaving. And once I could get him dropped off, my phone rang again. I answer my phone. It's the baby daddy. He wasn't my baby daddy then. He say, oh, you think I ain't see you with them flowers and balloons in your car? I seen your ass going up the Red Lobster. So I'm like, you followed me? He was like, yeah, I saw your ass. I was going up 10th Street. He tried to play like he was just going up 10th Street, but he really followed me. So I laughed it off and he was like, you better quit playing with me. And I was like, boy, please, we don't go together, like brushing them off. So a few weeks passed. I guess him and the dude run into each other. Now, mind you, the baby daddy was a very charming person, okay? He was the third guy that I had ever in my life been with. So let me tell y'all about me, because that's what this is about. And he was older than me. So I pretty much was a little bit wet behind the ears after just getting out of a relationship with somebody my age, my high school sweetheart. You get what I'm saying? And so I wasn't really used to a lot of stuff that I was exposing myself to. Is first of all, being with somebody that was in the streets. I just got out of a relationship with a high school child. You get what I'm saying? So this all new to me, in a sense. But ain't nothing new to me. So, and so I guess they run into each other and they end up having some words. He wasn't no drinker, but the other dude was. So I don't know if the dude was just on oil, kind of trying to slang around like he just took me out and he had to have a idea of that's who was blowing my phone up. So I don't really know what happened. I can't speak, but I know supposedly, allegedly, the baby daddy slammed the other guy on a car down one night after the club by the Kathleen High School across the street at the Circle K store. So I end up not knowing nothing about it. Somebody ended up calling me and telling me, and I'm like, well, dang, ain't nobody told me nothing. Like, ain't nobody said nothing about this. So I'm like, let me call dude. So I called him, and he just basically like, yeah, I was on that oil, and the nigga was tripping and stuff like that, and it's cool. Like, I ain't tripping about it, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, he ain't giving me the story, baby. I want the juice. I'm finna call and find out. And I know who's gonna tell me, so I'm finna call the baby daddy. He finna tell it. So I called him, and he like, yeah, that nigga was doing all that flossing and all this shit, like bumping and stuff. Like, nigga, I put that nigga on his head. And I'm like, oh my God, why did you do that? He like, man, that nigga got be doing too much. And I'm just like, you be doing too much. You keep your hand out people's kids. And so it was, a little chatting up with that. And that was it. So now I'm starting to see this side of him, like the control side of him. And another incident happened where I had went by my homeboy house, who I was really cool with, and I've been cool with him for a long time, like since I was a jit, like 16. And I had went by his spot. He had a spot on Owl. And when I got over there, he was hanging up clothes. So I'm like, what you doing? He said, hanging up clothes. He was like, I just dropped my bar that the clothes hang on. So I go back there in the room with him, and I'm like, well, damn, you got all these clothes on here. You can't have all these clothes on here. So he like, I know. He starts smiling. He's a smiler. And so I was like, I'll help you. I ain't doing nothing else. So I go to helping him hanging up his clothes and stuff, and he get a knock on the door. So he like, hold on for a second. So he go to the door. He stay out there for a second. He come back. He like, you won't believe who that was. And I was like, who? He was like, dude, you be talking to. And I say, you are lying. Oh my God. He was like, no, I'm dead ass. He was like, he asked me that I want to play cards, but I told him that I had some other stuff going on. He said he must have saw your card there. And I was like, damn. I'm like, dude, be on my ass. I don't know what he owns. So on my head, I'm like, I don't know what I done got myself into, but I started learning that he was learning me. Like, he knew me. He was learning me like a book. He was studying my ass. And that's how he would find me. That's how he would know where I was. And at that age, that was attractive to me because, like, you paying attention. But at the same time, it was kind of crazy because it was like, and the reason why it was because, like, you knew you had some other stuff going on. You should have just kept it friends, but it's cool. It's the past. So let me finish telling the story. So now, I'm seeing him move like this, and he literally, y'all, I was a party girl, like I said previously. I used to get drunk, literally. I used to be drinking. And it got worse the more I was going through my situation with this. Okay? So it wasn't as bad until it got worse. So I'm hanging out on the weekends and stuff like that, and he pulling up literally at every family member house, causing problems. And when I say problems, it's because now at this point my family don't like you. You get what I'm saying? I'm in bullshit. I'm running into this girl, but you steady coming over here acting like this where you want to be, and pulling up and just taking control, and acting like I'm your girlfriend. So now that, problems getting started. And people that I'm hanging around, they don't want him around. So now I'm dealing with doing what I want to do at a young age, don't know no better, being manipulated. And I got people around me who see what's being done, but when you in the situation, you don't see what's going on. You be blind to the situation. So they seeing what's going on, and they just like, stop talking to his ass. But it was like, I couldn't. It was like, when I tried, he'll do something. And as I stated before, like, him learning me, like, he got in with me within them 6 months of just catering, like being a catering person, like giving me massages. And y'all, I'm wet behind the ears. I don't know nothing about all this stuff. My high school boyfriend was playing video games. Shit, I ain't know nothing about this. So when he coming over and he doing all this stuff, it eased me on in. And I feel like that was why I stayed longer, because I was getting attention that I had never received before. And let me add this, because on my healing journey, I realized why I kept accepting it and going back. Everything starts back from your childhood. You get what I'm saying? And my daddy, like I said in the previous video, my dad struggled with drugs my childhood. So when my daddy would go mess up, because he lived in a household with me, he would come and buy me stuff. He would take me on dates. He would just spend so much time with me so that I wouldn't be disappointed nor mad at him. And that is what God has shown me through this, why I dealt with relationships longer, because it was a learned trauma that a man can mess up, they can come back, they can buy you a gift, they can, be nice, and you forgive them. So we learn our love language from our parents. So I feel like that's probably why I stayed in it as long as I did too, because it was just like, but we never went together. Like we never sat down and said we went together. So let's get back to the story. So now I'm experiencing him pulling up. Like I said, I'm getting drunk. We getting into it because I done did something he ain't like. Like I might be talking to somebody and he's saying I'm too friendly and I'm in somebody's face. And I'm going out to the clubs and he popping up, and he wasn't even no clubber, but he started going out and popping up because I was outside. So he started following me, trying to be on the scene. So, like I remember this one time, I was out, and I went out with, like, I think 2 of my cousins, and I ended up seeing some of my boy cousins in the club. And this was Club Kathleen, back in Club Kathleen days of Polk County, y'all. If you know about Club Kathleen, baby, we had a time. And I go in, and my cousin them, they wanted to walk around, and I'm not no big dancer, like, bitch, I don't do all that. So I'm like, I'm finna go stand back here with the boys, and I'm just bopping back there. I'm just bopping. So I see this guy who is in the streets, but he's like well known, and he was well known from like Bartow. So I'm like young, flirting with him, and he flirting back. So it wasn't nothing, just a little flirting. And then he was like, come up in the section. Like I could come up here in the section. So by the time I could get up there, I walked around a few times with them before I went back there with the boys. And I saw her in the club, the Babymama. And so now I know she in the club, I'm in the club, and he in the club. So now let's fast forward. I'm finna go up here, and I'm trying to talk to the men in the section, because in my mind, I know you jealous. And this is how I played on his top a lot of times in what we had going on. Like, you showed that to me. So I used that against him, and I use it a lot. So now I'm just like, I'm finna go flirt with dude. I'm finna make him mad, since, you got your girlfriend in the club, and you all over here worried about what I got going on. So dude, like, come up to the section. So I get close to the section. He come over there, and he like, fuck me, you got me fucked up. And he throws a drink on the dude. So the dude had money. So the dude was like, he told the bouncers, like, he finna fight you. He like, hey, because he was known as a fighter. So the dude was like, hey, he told the bouncers, how much I gotta pay y'all to get this ass nigga out the club? So I'm like, uh-oh. So before we can get into anything, the bouncers carry him out the club. So now I'm just in there bopping now, because baby, I got what I wanted, because you be doing too much. So I'm bopping. So he waited outside the club. Like I told y'all, by now, me and her, we ain't really, it's just like little private clause, but we know about each other. We very well know about each other. And we probably goddamn like 10 months in. And after the club, I'll never forget it, I was drunk though. So I'm gonna, it's gonna be little things I'm probably missing. After the club was over, I'm trying to get in the car, and me and him get into it about this situation. So now he mad. So now he like trying to fuss at me and want to jump on me. And this is my first time experiencing him with this side with me now. This is my first time seeing him get ugly like this, to the point where he ready to jump on me by the man. So I'm drunk. I don't know how I do it, but I got the scar on my knee right now. I call myself like Superwoman, jumping across the car to jump on him. And I failed. So when I failed and hit the ground, because I guess I thought I could fly. So I hit the ground. So when I hit the ground, my cousin, one of my boy cousins, got mad. And he was like, man, hold up. So now they having words. They finna get into it. Because my cousin like, hold up, you got a whole nother baby mama in here, and you out here trying to like show out on my cousin. Like, dog, we not finna do this. So my cousin and him having words. So they didn't end up fighting, but I don't know. I end up I don't know if I was drunk to the point where I just ended up walking up to the baby mama, y'all. I don't know, but I'm a Leo, so I'm gonna try to diffuse the situation before I turn up, because it's only two notches with me. I'm cool, calm, or I'm up. Like, it's no in between with me. So I tried to diffuse the situation, but I was drunk. So I never forget it. I went to her. She was standing out there. She was looking so sad. She was standing outside because, like, you really showing out like this about this girl and you living in my house. So so I go over there and I just basically tell her, basically like trying to get her to understand, like, see, this is not me. Like, I'm not the one that's bothering you and interrupting your relationship. Like, he's doing this. And it wasn't no beef. We didn't argue. We chopped it up, and I guess we went home. Next morning, I wake up with a hangover. So I want to say she called me because she ended up having my license, or vice versa. I want to say she had mine. And she told me I could come get them. So I ended up going to her house the next day after we had a long conversation on the phone about it. Like, a good conversation. Like, this was the first time me and her sat down and had a conversation on the phone about anything after that night, because she saw it. So I ended up coming back home, taking me a nap because I was tired, y'all. I had a hangover. So I think she ended up calling me again, and she ended up saying she had one more question to ask me, and I can't remember what it was, but we ended up talking again, and I was like, he said something, and I think we was trying to catch him in a lie. So I was like, I'll call him on three-way. So I called him, he answered, and I asked all the questions or whatever, and he went to saying something, and something ticked her off, and she said something. She was like, she busted in the phone and didn't stay on mute. So now he felt attacked. So now he got to get his way. He like, the fuck y'all got going on, this, that, and the third, and he flipped the script on me. Because mind you, I'm staying with my mama, he live with her. You gotta do something. And I'm not tripping about you flipping the script on me. It's just the fact that now, don't play with me when you see me. Like, stop doing all that. But yeah, so now by this time, I'm still staying with my parents. We staying out in Highland City. And as I stated, now we probably like a year in, y'all, into the stuff. And that was the only conversation we had, and the last civil conversation we had. So now, if you're new here, this is about a situationship that I had that led me into prison doing 7 years, followed by 5 years papers. So I left off the first time me and her saw each other in the club, and we had a conversation. Only civil conversation. So now I'm assuming it's hell and hot waters over there, baby. So he acting right. I ain't really getting all these like harassments. He cool, you know. He calling, he texting, but it ain't the most, because you know you just kind of flip the strip on me, and I'm just like, bitch, I don't want to be bothered. So now we get to, as you know, growing up young, mama on my ass, everybody, man, you need to get your ass out of this situation. So I'm just like in it. So now getting in shit with other women, and now it ain't just the baby mama. So I was working with this girl. My auntie was the house manager, and we worked in the house with handicapped people. So I had it was like maybe 6 guys in the house, and I was working with this girl, and I used to pay attention to the girl. She always used to kind of like try to be in my business about dude. Like, she'll see me talking to other people on the phone, but when he get on the phone, she like running where I'm at, trying to be nosy. So I started paying attention to that. So I say something to him, and he like pretty much breaks it down. Old girl been trying to holler at him. So then he tell me that his baby mama do her hair. So now I put all of it together, because I'm telling y'all, me and dude, the lies kind of stopped, but didn't stop. He was lying when it came to his baby mama and stuff that he was probably telling her, but we told each other, we talked, like we had a good ass relationship when it came to certain things about conversation. So I would know stuff because you don't lie to me. Well, you get what I'm saying? I'm talking to people. So I started putting two and two together, like, okay, that's why she always running in there. He said, yeah, she been trying to get on the nigga for years. And I could have bashed her, been bashed her. She been at my baby mama house. I guess she was making little faces, allegedly. This is what he told me. All this is allegedly. So now one day, me and her at work, and I'm on the phone with him. And I hear her on the phone down there with somebody, and I don't know, who she on the phone with, but I know now that the baby mama. So I'm trying to keep what I got going on with him on the low. Like, I ain't trying to put our business out because I'm trying to keep the confusion out. So I go stand by the door because it's like now she want me to hear her. She loud down there talking. So I run down there on her. And me and her get into it. We have some words, and I told her, y'all, this is how I used to be. And I'm just telling y'all the real, how I used to be. I was something else. I was rough, and I didn't get no soft girl era until I started meeting him. And I'm just being real. I was a rough rider. So the listening to R&B music, riding with him, he changed my whole little thug mentality because I grew up around a lot of boys. So, and I run down on her. And me and her have words. So I told her straight up, bitch, I'll whoop your ass. Like, I'm giving y'all the real. Like, what happened? I said, girl, I'll whoop your ass. I say, ho, stay out my motherfucking business and keep my name out your mouth. And we was literally about to fight, but she ain't want to do nothing. So I end up a situation happening. So I end up this particular day, we hanging out in the trailer park. Because my auntie had a trailer and she lived really close to the baby mama. The baby mama had done moved over there by Jewel and 2nd Street, which my auntie was already living over there. So this kind of made it easy access for him to be walking over there and hanging out over there and all this. And I want to say he was in jail when this situation occurred. But me and my cousins, then we over there, we drinking, we hanging out, we having a good time. And she called me private. And the reason I think she called me private is because the girl from the job was at her house this particular day getting her hair done. And I'm assuming they was in there talking about me because now y'all got something in common. Neither one of y'all don't like me. You get what I'm saying? So I guess she felt it was enough information that the girl gave her to make her feel like she was going to call me and start calling me and talking all this shit. So now I'm not just arguing with her. I'm arguing with her and the girl. So now my cousins, them, they like, what's up? Because I could see if it was just her, but now you arguing with her. So me and the baby mama, we going back and forth. The baby daddy is locked up. I don't think he was locked up long. And we going back and forth on the phone. She calling me. I'm calling her. We going back and forth now. She like, yeah, y'all bitches can come over here. We'll whoop y'all ass. She had a house full of people too. So, because I was hearing the people in the background. And I was over there with a house full. So, me and my two cousins, we end up going over there because they stayed right there. Bitch, I'm pulling up and I'm giving y'all the real of how I used to be. Okay, I was street. Okay, so if I would have known that she wasn't as street as she made me feel that she was, because her mouth used to be like, oh my God, like she would make the Pope cuss in the church. Like her mouth used to be off the chain. So I'm thinking, if we have to fight or whatever the case may be, it ain't going nowhere past this, y'all, because it's just drama. You know what I'm saying? And I was raised up, my daddy gonna take me to the field and we gonna duke it out in the field, me and whoever. Like, that's just always been me. So I'm thinking, we finna go over here, we finna fight or whatever the case may be. Y'all, I was young. We was young doing dumb shit. So we get over there, her and the girl come outside. We all loud, everybody loud out there. Everybody was coming outside on Jewel, on 2nd Street. Everybody was outside. So they standing on the porch. They did not come off that porch. They did not come off of out her yard. They was selling out bad. So we standing outside her like in the road in front of her house. And we still just all going back and forth. Me and my cousins, we going back and forth. I think it was about 2 of us, and I don't know, them 2 and probably some more people. I don't know. But this was childish. I can admit that. So we out there arguing. We baby, I don't know what's coming out of our mouth. My cousins can cuss better than me, y'all. I'm not a cusser. I was a fighter. So I remember my cousin kicked the girl mailbox down because they wanted the girls to come off the porch. Like, they already know me. I'm just standing back but I was drunk. Let me add this. I was fucked up. And this is why I don't fight drunk. I done experienced fighting drunk twice, and I never do it again because she got the best of me. So bam, my cousin kicked the mailbox down, really just trying to egg shit on to make the girl come off the porch so we not going in her yard because y'all been doing all this selling out. So when my cousin kicked the mailbox down, she said, yeah, bitch, you won't get no more mail from him now, ho. So she kicked the mailbox down. That girl say, you kicked my motherfucking mailbox down? And they start arguing. So she called my cousin. She said, you SpongeBob, SquarePants, shaped ass bitch. And my cousin got livid. I don't know if she was kind of embarrassed because people was out there. And this girl mouth, y'all. So she can hurt you with her mouth. So my cousin with the selling out, she said, you Harry Potter ass bitch. And from that day forth, I'm not gonna lie, that was our nickname for her. We used to call her Harry Potter. So after that, now she mad. So now the girl, like, they you know, I don't know if more happened, if her car got kicked. I don't really remember that part. If I kicked it, I probably did. I don't know. I was mad and I was drunk and I wanted to fight because I'm over it. Shit, I'm talking to other niggas and you stressing me out about this man, and you don't even know that this girl playing the situation. The girl really playing the field because I already know that she trying to mess with him. So I take it as, now as an adult, what she was doing was she trying to keep me and you feud so she can get in there, because that's what it was about. She was talking to him. This is what I know, but allegedly he told me. But I can tell you what I can feel from just like being at work and just seeing how she was acting. So make a long story short, we ended up fighting in the field across from her house, and I was still fighting, still throwing bowls. I got big hands, y'all. Okay, my licks, they sound off. And so I was hitting her. Somehow my cousin was trying to pull her and I failed. And she got on top of me. She got a lick in that blacked my eye. She hit me on the side of my face. And I felt my eye swelling up immediately. And this just one fight that happened over there. It was another time. Oh, well, let me finish this fight. So after that, now I'm working with her. She quit her job. She didn't even come back to work. But now I gotta go home to my mama's house. And my mama just like, my son, I gotta look at my child, and I got a black eye. And y'all, I had never had a black eye a day in my life. I had never got beat up like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a beat up to me, bitch, when your eye black. So I'm just like, she done hit me in my eye. So now I'm having to hear like, Nicole, like, now it's getting bad. Family and them, like, you just getting in too much shit. But I don't want to listen. I'm hard-headed. I'm doing what I want to do. You get what I'm saying? And I'm justifying every reason why I'm getting into bullshit. The things that I've learned. Okay? So now I done got it. I'm getting into shit. Okay? And I ain't even smart enough to say, this just too much. Like, you know, I'm still claiming like, yeah, we don't go together, but I'm still being put in situations that I could have. I have the power over my life, so I could have walked away. And that's why I take accountability. So bam, I found out she pregnant. It ain't really much I can say, and it ain't really much that he had to explain, because we already know, like, we don't go together and we going through all this, and now we like over a year in. But I still say something, because it's like, to me, I'm telling him like, you running everybody off, you stressing this where you want to be, you hanging, you know what I'm saying, you over here, but you done got another baby. So now it's finna get to the point where I'm on his ass and he trying to, I'm on his ass and he trying to prove a point. So now she pregnant. She going through her pregnancy. Things still playing out how it's playing out. Me and him still in this situationship. And a few months roll by. Now I'm finally finna jump off the porch, y'all, and move out my parents' house, because I'm just tired of hearing it from everybody. I want to do what I want to do. And y'all, pause for a second. This is why I'm this type of parent. Like, for me, because how I was raised, my mama, is a Cancer, and so she's very controlling when it comes to like you doing what she wants you to do. That's just my mom. I love her to death. But she never allowed me to just make my mistakes. She always wanted to save me from them, and I just don't believe that you can save nobody from life. Life's gonna teach you. So when it come down to my kids, this is who I am today. I don't get in their business. I don't put me before they partners. None of that. Like, I let my kids make their own decisions because they got to make their own failures. In order to learn, you got to fail. So I'm going to say that. So I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So now a few months done passed by. My cousin called me. And me and this cousin was pregnant at the same time. So we had done built a little bond and stuff like that, being pregnant at the same time and staying with our grandma. So we had done got a little closer. So she moved in an apartment, and she had a dude, her baby daddy. He was in the streets too. So she was just like, cuz I don't want to really be out there by myself. If you want to, pay half the rent and come out here, you can do that. So y'all, I thought about that thing because I really want to get outside and not have to worry about, how it is when you're doing what you want to do and you don't want to hear what nobody got to say. You don't want to hear that. So I took her up on her offer. So now I move in with my cousin, and we got our own little place now. And now y'all finna get into it. He turned now. Cause mine, y'all, I done been living with my mama all this time. This little over a year I've been staying with my mama. The first year and something I was staying with my parents. So now he turned. He coming out there every day. Damn near living out there. Right? So bam. So now me and my cousin, we living out there past Doctor Road in the apartments behind the animal clinic. So we chilling. Like I say, he out here every day. I'm working at Publix, and I get a job at Publix, and he over there all the time. And y'all, now we trying to call ourselves trying to do something, but it wasn't going that way. So I'm telling him, like, you need to get a job. So he listening. So he like, okay. So he end up eventually later on getting a job at Publix as well. So I remember this day. I'm home, and he calls me. Mind you, they've been in the hospital for 3 days. She done had her baby. He done been calling and texting the whole 3 days. And I've been acting like a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because now you out here at my house 24/7. So now I'm finna start acting like, you doing too much. So at this point, y'all, I'm really not talking to nobody but him. I might be conversating here and there, but like literally talking to nobody. He done ran everybody off. So the day they came from the hospital, I will not lie to y'all. I'm finna give it to y'all how it was 20 years ago. He called my phone. He said, come get me. I said, I'm not finna come get you, child. I'm not doing that. I was finna say his name. I'm not coming to get you. You just came home with that girl, with that baby, and I don't got time. He said, man, what the fuck I said, man? Fuck that shit. I already told her what time it is. Come get me. So, my tender ass, I get in my car, and I drive way across town. We was in Daughtry Road. I drive way long over here to her house. And I'm going to show y'all her house. This is the house, and as I said, up there was my auntie apartment. But this is for the part of telling y'all that time I picked him up from here. It was a gate all right up in here. And I stopped right here, and I sat here, and then he came out of the front door, and she stood at the front door, and she watched him walk and get inside my car. So, bam, we head back to my house. I don't know if she followed us or just knew where I stayed because he had been staying out there. I don't know. We would find these things out, and you would find these things out if you talking to somebody. You're going to want to know. So, we going on to the house. We laying in the bed. It's late. I don't even know what time it is, y'all. It's late. And I hear a knock on the door. So I jump up. I go to the door. It's raining. It's sprinkling. And I open the door, and it was her, the baby mama. Mind you, I did not have a child from him. This is her second child from him. And when I opened the door, like I said, it was her. She asked for him. She said she wasn't nasty. She looked like she was mentally going through something. I would have been, you know. You just had a baby. So I went right in there. I said, hey, your people's at your baby mama at the door. He said, you lying. I said, I ain't lying. That girl at that door. So he get up out the bed. He go out to the door. And I go and stand up and look out the window. Because, bitch, I'm being nosy. I want to know what's going on. And he be lying, and I want to hear what he finna say. Because now you done got a baby, and I've been on his mind, y'all. I done been like, now you keep talking about you want to be over here, but you done got a whole nother baby. But you don't owe me nothing with the baby because we wasn't together. But you got to do some changing at this point. So, bam. I'm at the window being nosy, y'all. Just as nosy as hell. So I peep out the window, and all I see, her standing outside the apartment. And when I saw her standing outside, she was just standing there with her arms folded, and she was crying. She was crying tears. And I heard her say, why you doing this to me? And we just had a baby. And he said, man, I told you this where I want to be. I already done talked to you and explained this to you. And she was just so hysterical outside, like she was breaking down. And I'm listen, my heart went out, cause that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, y'all, I'm in love a little bit too. So I feel bad for you, but I can't feel bad because all the shit that done happened and all the stuff you done said. So now it's like, it's my turn, kind of. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it real, y'all. In my head, it's my turn. You done been doing too much selling out. And I told you I was going to show you. So this is how I was thinking in my young 22-year-old mind. So after I see all that, she leaves. And I run and lay in the bed like I ain't being nosy. He come back in there, and he kind of quiet, like, and I'm like, what the hell going on? He was just like, man, I done told that girl, like, and that was pretty much, he said something. I can't remember everything that was said, and that was it. We went to sleep. We laid up there and went to sleep out of the apartment. It's out here by 98, out in the Doomdies. They used to be brown. I don't know why they paint them pink color. Somebody standing right there. But we using it right here. Right here in the middle. We staying there. And this is the road. Okay? From there to there. My car was parked right here, like where my mom's car is. And my room right here. This was my room. Went back in the house and she left. The next morning, I want to say it was early. It was daylight. So I want to say probably about 6. It was early in the morning. All I heard was commotion out here. And the door was open. And I jumped up out the bed. And I came to the door. And the door was cracked. And my cousin was out here yelling at her. Her car was parked literally like right there. And my cousin was yelling at her. And my cousin was like, bitch, what the fuck you doing out here with your stank ass? Now, mind you, my car is right here. My car had scratches. She had done scratched up the side of my car, the roof of my car. She found letters from him being in jail. And so she had like a whole bunch of letters, like all up in, just sitting up here. All his shoes and clothes was thrown on my car. They was bleached. They was cut up. Everything was cut up. And all I hear, and I come to the door and I hear her and my cousin arguing. She literally was sitting in her car after she did all that, waiting to see his face, I guess. So I go back in the house and I say, man, get up. You won't believe this shit. He said, what? I said, you just better get up and come out the door. He come out that door and he see all his shit literally on the car. And she's still sitting in the car. Her and my cousin going back and forth. They talking shit. And I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? This, like, thinking to myself, she done went home and went a fatal attraction. Like, I'm shocked. He see his shit, he runs towards the car like he ready to beat her up, and she pulls off and she was talking shit. My cousin, me and my cousin was out here, and we was just like kind of blown, because we thinking to ourselves, like, first of all, how she found out where we stay? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. So, make a long story short, on this end, she ended up leaving. He ended up coming out, picking up his clothes. I ended up helping him. We got some trash bags. My cousin had grabbed some trash bags, and we ended up helping him get his stuff and putting it in trash bags. Everything was destroyed, down to toothbrushes. And literally, he was so mad, he couldn't even get his life together. He didn't want to go to work that day. He was like, I'm finna go beat her ass. Like, he was pissed about his stuff. Like, he didn't have shit. And I just kept trying to tell him, like, don't worry about it. Like, just go get you some new stuff and don't worry about it. Because in my mind, like, it's gone, you know? So this was the very first time she actually came out, damaged my property, scratched up my car. And at the time, I had a Lexus and my car. And that was before the scratches. Once she scratched my car up, I had to go to Econo on Memorial, and I ended up painting my car the same color, but it was darker. Because it was, and so all this, now remind y'all, all this happened before the gun. All this happened before the gun. I hadn't even had a baby from him. He actually ended up, so now she done put his stuff all over my car. I guess she kicked him out. So now we get all this stuff together, like I said, and he moved in with me. Now we living together. So everything going cool. I'm not finna get on here and, you know, downplay nobody, like, you know, personality, or downplay nobody, you know, the good stuff that's in them. Everybody got good and everybody got flaws, and that's the problem. We all got to work on those things. So we never really had no problems outside the baby mama stuff. We really got along real good. Like, time going by, a few weeks passed by. Me and my cousin Misha, we say we going down to Black College Week. Never been. I don't know what we was thinking about. We get down here, y'all. I leave him in Lakeland. I'm thinking he just gonna have, you know, chill with his homeboys or whatever he finna do, hang on Fifth Street or whatever. We on our way down there. The whole ride, y'all, he blowing me up. So my cousin getting mad because she like, we can't never go nowhere and do nothing. He always calling, like, she getting aggravated. Now, mind you, I said family, they mess with him, they deal with him, but they really don't like what's going on, so they really don't care for it. You get what I'm saying? So she like, everywhere we go, he always calling. So I'm like, girl, just let me answer the phone. So I tell him we make it or whatever, and I call him back. So me and her get out, we walking, we go to a store, and we get attacked by these boys because we weren't fast enough for them, and they was mad that we wasn't letting them grab our butts and just handle us any kind of way. So we like, girl, we got to get up out of here. This is too much. This ain't for us. We ain't wild enough for this. So we end up trying to get to the car. We get in our car. I get in my car, and we get in the traffic. Baby daddy, he wasn't my baby daddy. He's blowing me up, y'all. You straight? You good? I say, yeah, I'm good. I didn't know he was on his way down there. So me and her sitting in the car, and this dude asked me for my phone number, and I'm just like, I'm on the phone with him, so I'm like, no, I'm good, you know. And he get mad and throw a slushie on my car, on my window, in my windshield. So I said, I can't believe this. So me and my cousin, we can't believe he just did that. So the baby daddy was on the phone, and he heard it, and so then he was like, man, where y'all at? I'm coming to get you. And I was like, we finna go. You ain't gotta come this way. He told me, I'm already on this way. I'm already on my way. So I'm like, oh Lord. So I'm like, don't come, because we leaving. So we hang up. Me and her on our way gone. Damn near. Where y'all at? I don't see y'all. I say, where you at? He told me, I'm here. I say, oh my God. Mind you, she drunk. I'm drunk. So I'm just like, let me go get him so he could drive me back home. So she was mad because we had to turn around. We was halfway home, but we turned around. We went and got him, and he drove us home. We dropped her off, and we went back to the house. Now we at the house. It's passed by. And we still just, ain't no problems, you know. He having a lot of problems. He can't see his kids. She won't let him get the kids. She just taking the man up and through it because he out here with me. So this particular day, me and him was riding. I don't know what we was doing. He was like, he wanted to go to the daycare and see his kids because he hadn't seen them. He had 2 kids from them, as I said. So we pull up to the daycare, and he like, I ain't gonna get both. I'll just get the baby. Mind y'all, this the baby that he had while we was talking within that year. So I'm like, okay, anything about me, that's a non-negotiable. We're not discussing no kids. We're not downplaying. We're not talking about nobody kids. None of that. So bam, we get the baby, and I don't know what the daycare lady tell him, because the daycare lady was the baby mama's, allegedly was her godmother. So he like, the lady cool with me or whatever. So he bring the baby out. He put the baby in the car, and we go back to the house. Now mind y'all, we sitting out here chilling. She blowing up his phone, I guess, because she done found out she went to go get her kids and her baby wasn't there. So now she mad. She calling him, and they going back and forth on the phone. So I'm like telling him, just get a girl her baby, you know, so it ain't no problems. And he just like, no, fuck that, this my baby too. And I'm like, yeah, you got a point, but I would feel some type of way too. You know what I'm saying? You bring my baby to this girl house. So we sitting there or whatever, we chilling. She come out there. She come get her baby. They about to fight. They getting in an argument. And I think his stepdaddy, this was the day his stepdaddy came out there on crutches trying to stop them from fighting, because she wanted her baby. And he kept telling her no. So she ended up calling the police. So the police end up coming out there, and they tell him, like, the Florida law, like, that's still your child. You got rights. You ain't doing nothing wrong. You can keep your child. But they recommend you to give her the child so that it can diffuse the situation and she can go home, because she was just stressing. I was saying she need to get from out here, and to the police, because it's just too much. It's too much noise out here. And this is where me and my cousin stay. And I'm bringing drama to my cousin's house. So I could just imagine how she felt. So the police end up diffusing the situation, and he end up calming down and giving her the baby. Our situation, she pretty much just left. So now me and him still talking, and we finna get into the next part. A few months passed by. Her baby a few months old now. Her baby probably about 6 months or so. I don't know. I find out I'm pregnant. If you missed my live last night, I did talk about how I started. My whole reason of getting myself to a point to start posting my story is because I'm writing a book, and I'm 9 chapters in, and I really was just, trying to reel y'all in. So when I start posting my book, I can have some, some followers, because I lost my last page. So that I always tag all my pages in. So I want to say thank you to the ones that's invested, because y'all be having me dying laughing in the comments. This is all about growth and accountability, and I'm gonna start trying to give y'all like positive quotes before I get into the little pieces of the stories. Okay, so I told y'all on the last one that I was gonna finish up on me finding out I was pregnant. Well, there was a situation that happened, so I can't skip that. Okay, so my quote would be patterns. Okay, when a person show you who they are, just believe it. You don't gotta tongue wrestle. The patterns and the red flags are there. So let's get into the story. So one night, it's Mother's Day, and I keep everybody's kids, like, that I know, I'm a homegirls around me. Like, I get all the boys, and they playing. I get pizza, and he said he going to the club this particular night. So I say, okay. So he asked me, can he drive my car? And I told him, okay. Well, when I wake up the next morning, I'm getting everybody's kids out. They rounding up. Somebody take mine too. So I'm calling. Now I'm finna experience it. You see how karma, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. See what I'm saying? That's why it ain't worth it. If you in a situationship, leave. So I'm calling. The phone going to the voicemail. Ain't no ringing for me, baby. That bitch going to the voicemail. So my friend stayed behind me in those apartments, and I'm gonna try to post visuals for y'all, cause y'all say y'all like the visuals. And she stayed right behind me, and we was so cool. So I called her. I'm like, I need you to take me to get my car. She like, what? And I was like, he ain't come here last night, and I ain't got my car. All I'm worried about is my car, y'all. Like, where's my car? She like, okay, meet me to the car. I'm finna grab my keys and put on some clothes. So, baby, I runs to the car. And she opens up her car. We get in the car. We go way across town. I ride by the girl house like twice. Don't see my car nowhere. And I'm like, my intuition told me, like, he there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's out here somewhere. So I'm looking. And I tell her to hit the other block. And it's apartments across from her house. He parked my car in between two cars, so you cannot see it in the apartment complex. She stayed right here, and I pulled up in the driveway. My car was right over here in between two cars. Like, did you think that they could have moved the car? But anyways, I seen it. And I looked over there, and I said, pull up in this driveway, because I'm finna go get my keys. And she was like, you want me to pull up there? Maybe I'll pull on the side. I was like, pull up in this driveway. Because I'm mad. Nah. But I'm cool. Because I'm only 2 notches. If you don't, that's the Leo. If you don't act stupid, I won't act stupid. So, and that's just, that's always been my personality. So, I get out the car, and I go knock on her door. And I say, is the baby dad here? And she say, yes, coming to the door like they just had them some good old, you know what, like, you know, smiling and cheesing. And I'm mad about my car. So, I say, she say, yes. And then I say, can you tell him to come to the door, please? Like, I'm not here to talk to you. Like, that's what I'm looking at her like, girl, where's he at? I'm not here to talk to you. And he comes, she calls him. He comes to the door. And I say, can you give me my keys? This man eyes got so big, you would have thought he saw a ghost. You would have thought he had done hit the pipe, baby. He said, I say, can you get my keys? And he went and got them keys and brought them keys to that door. And I grabbed my keys. I opened her screen door, because she had a screen door. Like, they just acting weird to me. Like, give me my damn keys. I'm not here to talk to y'all and look at y'all. Like, give me my keys. That's how I was, like, acting, like, irritated. Like, what's taking y'all so long? So I grab my keys, and I say, you could have just dropped my car off and came over here. And I said it just like that. Just as cool. Like, by this time, we know. Yeah, so I'm like, you could have dropped my key off. I'm keeping it P, because I'm trying to keep my face card right. Like, I'm not trying to let nobody know how you make me feel. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you could have just dropped my car off to me and came over here and did that. And I'm standing in front of both of them. And I get in the car, and my friend back up, and I go get my car, and I go back out there. So, y'all, not even 3 hours. Not even. Guess who pulling up out there in her car? Here come the cycle. He got some roses and a card telling me he's sorry and all this stuff, y'all. And I don't want to hear it. Put your flowers right there and your card right there. But at the same time, let's go back to what I told y'all before. With me growing up with a dad who was in-house and had a drug issue, my daddy would mess up, and I said this before, he would come home and take me out to eat. He would, like, take me on dates. I remember ice cream dates. He would just spoil me kind of to make up. So that's learned behavior. So now I'm learning how to love a man. They can mess up, and they can come and buy me something, and everything is okay. Now this is learned behavior. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, even though I'm playing the face card good, it's working. You see what I'm saying? Cause I wouldn't have let him back. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I don't want to hear. I'm like, boy, going on. Like, I don't even want to talk. And I meant it. And he ended up coming back over there one day. And I think the next day or something like that. Something. Because now I'm like, I ain't finna really do this with you. And me and my cousin was already talking about not renewing the lease. So I already know. He don't know what I got going on. Like, I'm not finna renew the lease. So he come over there one day. I think like maybe that same night, y'all. I'm not gonna be for sure. It might have been the same night or the next day. And he like, I'm really sorry. And he explained to me like he didn't mean to put me in that situation or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, you got too much going on. Like, you don't know what you want. You get what I'm saying? You saying one thing and it's another. You get what I'm saying? And he was like, no, I do, but it's hard to explain. So I'm just like, well, I don't want to, I don't want to hear it. So we laying up there, and I don't know if he didn't answer the phone or what, but remind you, you just stayed the night at her house. So I'm assuming she's in her feelings. So we laying up there, and he tell me, he say, you pregnant? And I'm like, huh? And he's like, girl, you ain't had a period in 3 months. And I'm like, dang, sure haven't. So I'm so dramatic, y'all. I go to the hospital. I don't go take no pregnancy test. I go to the hospital. And the hospital confirms I am pregnant. And they get into it because he stayed at my house and he goes to jail. Getting in it ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's just how it was. Crazy. I ain't getting into that. So the stepdaddy had to come out there, try to stop him. It was a whole lot going on. So he ended up going to jail. And he ended up going to jail like a few weeks after that. I think something about a warrant or something from the situation. And okay, on 8, I stopped off I found out I was pregnant. And a couple weeks after that, he goes to jail. He goes to jail because I guess I didn't make myself clear in the last one, over some domestic violence stuff that happened with the other party, the other baby mama. And it was a warrant or something. They picked him up. So now he going to jail. And my cousin and I move out the apartment. And I go stay with my friend that lived behind us because I didn't want to go home and tell my mama. Because I knew I knew the situation that I was in. And that was kind of, for me, I was embarrassed. And I didn't know how to face my parents. So time going by and I'm staying over there. Like I said, my friend, she was like, you can stay here as long as you need to. But I just was never the type of person to kind of like, I was uncomfortable. Like sleeping on her couch, sick as heck. So I end up going to the hospital and they end up admitting me for 3 days. My iron was like a 1.0 and the doctors was just like, they don't even know how I'm still walking around like alive, because I literally was throwing up every day and I couldn't hold anything down. The pregnancy in the beginning, as soon as this man leave, was just like, I found out I'm pregnant and I'm sick and going through it. So when they admit me, I'm sitting in the hospital, and like on the second day, I get a surprise visit. Mind you, nobody really knows I'm in the hospital because I ain't really told nobody but my homegirl. And it's his brother. So his brother pops up out there. Y'all, it made me feel kind of good because I really was embarrassed and I didn't want nobody to know. And I hadn't been talking to him because he's in jail. So, I don't know. It just let me know, like, I was okay. Like, it kind of reassured me that I was okay because I was going through it bad. So when the brother came and see me, he just was like, I'm just coming to check on you, make sure you're straight. And I'm like, how you know I was out here? He was like, don't worry about it, I'm just coming to make sure you're straight. And I was like, okay, I'm good. So we chop it up and he leaves. Right after he leaves, I get out, you know, after my 3 days, and I go back to my friend's house. Now I'm just laying on my friend's couch being a straight bum. Literally. Can't work. Ain't got no motion. Ain't got nothing going on. Pregnant. And I'm just out there trying to figure out what I'm finna do. I gotta come up with something. So one day my friend goes to work, and I'm laying on her couch, and I get a private phone call. Mind you, he in jail. We ain't got no problems. I'm over here praying the baby and trying to figure out what life finna bring me. I answer the phone, it's her. I'm already going through it mentally. It's her. She say, oh, bitch, I heard you was pregnant, and he say that ain't his baby, and he say you took a 1-a-day pill. He say he don't want no baby from you. So I let her talk, and then I said, bitch, I don't want no baby from his ass. And I said, I don't even know nothing about no damn 1-a-day pill. Like, I was like, girl, get the fuck off my phone. Like, at this point, y'all, I don't want no baby. And I gotta just keep it real. I can't sit here, and my daughter knows the story, so I ain't saying nothing that nobody don't know. I did not want a baby, literally. So I'm mad now. I'm mad because I'm like about to take my anger out on her. She ain't did nothing but called me selling out, which I should have been used to. So I hang up, and I want to say some time rolled by, my mama come up out there. Now, mind you, she coming thinking I'm still in the apartment. She don't know that I don't stay there no more. So she pull up out there, she blowing up the phone, like calling me, and I'm like, oh Lord, here she go. I don't even know how I'm finna go outside and face this wrath, baby. The wrath of a church-going mama. This ain't finna be good. So I answer the phone. She say, well, I've been sitting out here. I done knocked on the door, and you act like you don't see me calling you. Come outside. So I was like, okay, I'm coming. So I get outside, and I'm trying to act like, you know, trying not to give myself away, break, you know, let her know what's going on. She talking about, well, what you coming out of there for? I said, I'm at my friend's house, Mom. She talking about something, you look like you been asleep. She said, and it don't look like nobody stay in this apartment. And I was just sitting there looking like, oh, shoot. Like, how I'm finna, you know. So she say, I can't get my money. I don't know what you got going on, baby, but you, baby, you gonna find yourself in some trouble. You just keep on with this foolishness with this man. You just keep on. I'm like, what is you talking about? Here you go. Like, here you go with all this. She was like, girl, just give me my money. You owe me some money. Anybody know my mama know, like, if you borrow something from my mama, Felicia, you better give it back. Baby, she probably got a notepad. She got every time you owe her what you got from her, you gonna get her money back. So I'm sitting there, literally standing up outside at the car, mad, y'all, because I'm trying to get an abortion. I'm saving. So the little money I'm trying to save it, because I'm trying to get rid of this baby. I ain't, So she pressuring me. And normally I was able to kind of just get her something and she leave, but this time she wasn't having it. She wanted her money. So by the time I gave her money, I'll never forget it. I did not have even close enough. I think the abortions back then was like 3 something, because I had done called myself, was going to try to, you know, get the information. And while I'm standing out there, I gave her money, and she say, well, what you standing up there looking like that for? And I was like, nothing, I'm just aggravated. And she was like, well, I don't know what you aggravated with me for. She's talking about, you look like you're pregnant. I just stood there. I was like, why you say that? She said, because you do. And I was like, and she was like, girl, you pregnant? And then I was like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, girl, get your stuff and bring your behind home. She was like, you don't need to be laying up in nobody's house. get your stuff and come home. And I was like, Ma, I just don't. I started crying, y'all. I was like, I just don't know. I don't want no baby. And she was just like, it ain't nothing you can do. You done got it now. You might as well get yourself together. You done got it. So get your stuff and come on home. So now my mama break down her experience, and she like, no, you don't need to do that. I did that when I was young, and I regret it, and I feel like that child be hunting me. And this is why it's so good and important to not try to keep secrets and have those relationships with your parents, because you don't never know what they've been through and what they can tell you to help you make the decisions that you need to make. So with that being said, a long story short, that encouraged me not to abort my baby. So cut the story a little bit short. I go back home to my mama. Y'all, I'm doing good. My mama gave me a job at the college, cleaning classrooms. I'm growing in my pregnancy. She helping me, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And my mama been at Polk State College in Florida, in Lakeland, about 30 years or so. So she know a lot of resources and programs, and she had saw that I was staying out the way, and just, like I was really like, I done got this baby, I just got to do what's best for me. And she got some resources. They helped me get an apartment. They paid for my relocation. They paid for my first month, last month rent. And I end up getting me an apartment. So now I got me an apartment. I got my one child, and I got another baby on the way. And all I'm doing, y'all, at this point is going to work, stacking my money, and buying my baby, getting my baby ready to come into this world. Like, literally, that's all I did. I didn't go nowhere. That's all I did. And I did that. I think he was locked up for about 6 months or so, something like that. I'm in my own little world. I got me a new job. I'm just going to work and doing what I need to do. Fast forward. I want to say this was in December. He came home. Mind you, I ain't talked to this man. Don't know where he at. I know he in jail. So like I said, I'm sitting home one night, like regular. I'm coming home. I ain't hanging out like that. I'm pregnant with my daughter now. And it's like December. So I got 1 month left or something like that. In November, it was one of that time he got out. And I get a phone call, a private call. I ain't talked to you. You in jail, baby. I'm done growed on. And it's him. And he say, how you doing? And I say, who is this? And I hear a voice, and he was like, man, I just want to see you. And I was like, I ain't doing this with you.
Yeah. Everyday people, man. Lord have mercy. She still got a part 10. I just want to say, you know what? As a man, that's kind of despicable what this guy was doing. But I understand if he was young. But he already had 3 kids with the other girl. And you got another girl pregnant. I would have never did that as a young man. I was kind of reckless with having babies and dealing with women at the same time. But what I would say is my first child was a blessing because your boy was out here. My second child, although she may have been an accident, I still love her to death. It was just one of those things. It's just like you just got to make it work, whatever. Third child was really just infatuation, being with a person and thinking that, oh man, I get another chance at raising a child that I didn't get with my other 2. So it did. It worked out like that, but it was difficult because, as you see with this same situation, jealousy, envy, multiple women, it was just never going right. So at times it was seeming like I was being taken advantage of. And I always say that. I'll be like, man, next time I get with a woman, and I get a baby, I don't want her to be like either one of them. And every woman tell you, well, no, that's not me, man. These chicks be lying, because it don't matter what it is, man. And then in everything that goes on, you got a man, you got to take the blame. So in this case, this man, he got to take the blame for everything that he put these women through, even down to the shooting. Like, that's your fault because you wasn't there. But you started all this riffraff when you was there, because you was going back and forth between these two women, and you knew what you was doing. So I think that, like, yeah, although he didn't do anything right. He seemed to do everything wrong. And I can understand, because I've been in situations where everything is, you just trying to go with the flow. But I never use a girl's car to go to sleep with my other girl. Like, I would never do no stupid stuff like that. But I've had women pop up at my house and stuff like that. It was like, and then main reason is like, yeah, I'm playing. Yeah, I'm out here cheating or whatever. But, women don't never like to take accountability for a man cheating on them. Like, yeah, I'm cheating on you, but don't come starting a fight in my yard. Because if a woman do the same thing and a man come and do that stuff, now he crazy. But women don't ever see themselves as being crazy. And that's the situation with these two women acting crazy. Of course, the man is this is where we're gonna get at, because everybody gonna be like, oh, PJ, you taking up for the man. You're not understanding. He put them through this. Lord gave y'all free will, and so if y'all still want to act crazy, you can't just place every blame on that man. You did it. You had parts in it too. You fell in love. You was loving, and you shot your firearm outside of your car with your kids in the car. You got to take responsibility for that. You can't blame anybody else for your actions. And I see that's what every time there's a baby mama story, it's, oh, you made me like this. No, I didn't. I didn't make it, because you was gonna be like this regardless. And a lot of people, not just men or women, show patterns of their lifestyle. So if a man is showing a cheating pattern, that's his lifestyle. He's a liar and a cheater. If a woman, every time she's in a situation, it's everybody else and it's not her, well, it's a pattern. It's her. But people don't like to see it like that. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and take fault at what it is that's going on with you or your kids, your baby daddy or your baby mama. Like, it's hard for a lot of people to do that, because a lot of people don't want to really, face the facts. They don't want to face the facts. They want to keep the drama going. So, I'm gonna just say this: whether it was his fault or whether it was your fault or whether it was the other chick's fault, fact of the matter is, at some point, everybody was playing a damn game. He was playing a game the whole time. He just brought y'all into it. And then y'all wanted to play the game with each other. Instead of being girls and being like, you know what? We should just leave this. He's a deadbeat. Let's leave him alone. Like, I'm going to stop messing with him. But she had more ample opportunities to stop messing with this dude, and she ended up pregnant. And he wanted that. Reason why he wanted that, because I want to secure you. I want to lock you down. I don't want you to be with nobody else. And that's what happened. Of course, now she's moved on and got married, at some point. But at the same time, that's why he got you pregnant. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a slip up. And then y'all was talking good about it when y'all was doing it. That's how you knew you. As every women be like, I didn't know I was pregnant. Man, you know every time that man start wiggling inside of you. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel sympathy for them present day, past tense. But if I seen this today, I'd be like, man, them girls ain't got no damn sense. So, but you know, with her looking back and seeing that like she been out of prison for 9 years, the situation happened, you know, X amount of years ago, almost 20 years done passed by, and now she can realize that like, yeah, I was being stupid. I really threw my life away for a guy who never cared about me at all, and that's how that be happening. Yeah, guys don't be caring about these, man. Shit. If I had $1,000 for every time I cared about a woman that I was sleeping with, I'd be broke because I never did, and that's how this dude be. As a young man, I'm not talking about grown PJ. I'm talking about young man PJ, and I definitely wouldn't been having 3 kids with one woman and actively cheating on her. That's crazy. I be trying to be faithful with the ones, you know. But hey, in his words, if one baby mama tripping, I just make another. You know, just make another. You know, don't worry about it. Like, women ain't never your woman, your baby mama ain't never gonna be satisfied with you. So just make another one and see how she work out. It can work out good. It work out bad. Either way, shit, you got another one. You got another chance to try again. You got another chance to be a better baby daddy. You got another chance to be a better father. So just go out there and make another baby, man. Like, that's what he did. He went and made it. He said, man, this the one I got 3 kids with, she tripping. Let me go make another one over here on the side. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing one on the side, but like, just break up with her and go have another baby with somebody. You'll live to fight another day. Everyday people, man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and holler at you later. Peace.
For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.